What we are trying to analyze is whether it will be beneficial for the company if it starts concentrating on the upstream business as well. Now, in order to do so, what we did was we did a current analysis of the retail segment, and we saw there are three main issues that are currently plaguing the retail market. That is the price volatility, the financial management, and the threat of re-regulation by the government. Now, what do you mean by the price volatility and financial management? Now, a customer in Ontario, if he needs a supply of electricity, then either he can go for the regulated pay plan, which is basically provided by the default government retailer, or he could go to a retailer like Direct Energy and getting a contract for a 5-year fixed plan. Now, regulated plan is basically where the price fluctuates depending on the market dynamics, that is depending on the demand and supply, whereas the fixed price protects the consumer against the price volatility. So now how does this work? Now say for example, let's give an example, that say there are 100 customers that Direct Energy has in contract with. Okay, and the price that Direct Energy needs to pay to the wholesaler, say, is 0.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Sorry, 5 cents per kilowatt hour. So what Direct Energy does is it gets in a commitment to the wholesaler to provide a desired amount of load at this agreed upon price. Now say for example, due to market dynamics, due to the demand and supply, the price reduces and goes down to 3 cents per kilowatt hour. That is a difference of, that reduces by 2 cents per kilowatt hour. So what Direct Energy would have to do is have to post a collateral with the wholesale market, and this collateral will be equal to the price difference, including the remaining period of the contract period. So for example, here is 34 months. So total collateral that it will need to post is $68,000. Now this might look like a small figure, but then given the size of Direct Energy, even $1 fluctuation in the price of electricity can make Direct Energy post a collateral of nearly $1 billion. So that's the impact that we're talking about here. Now further what we did was we did an analysis of Reliant Energy. Now Reliant Energy had lots of losses in the year 2008. It faced a loss of nearly $533 million. What happened was it was only into retailing, and due to the mark-to-market pricing, it faced these losses. So what happened was Energy, which is basically a generation company, it came and took over, acquired Reliant Energy, and we saw a drastic change in the model, the business model, the financial position of the company. It became more competitive, more stable and reliable. Now, what we also analyzed was there was a good synergy that was there present between the generation and the retailing, because the generation could offset the losses that the retailing segment was making due to the price volatility. Now, let's go on to the next threat, that is the re-regulation threat. The threat of re-regulation. Now, the regulation that's happened in Ontario is still nascent. It's just in 2002 that the deregulation took place. And immediately we saw that in 2002, within 6 months we saw the price rise like literally by 25%, due to which the government threatened to deregulate the market again, because there was elections also on the head. So what happened was there was a lot of outcry in the market. Then they placed a cap. Later they gave subsidy. So there's a lot of things that are happening. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's not been a smooth ride so far. So we still believe that there could be an imminent threat of some regulation still taking place, some policy changes still taking place, which could be detrimental for the retailing segment. So if Direct Energy places all its eggs in just one basket, then it could be detrimental for it. So based on these two analyses, what we saw is that there could be a synergy between generation and retailing. The retailing segment could offset some of its losses by the profit that that generation segment could make, plus the threat of deregulation also gets mitigated to a great extent. This was the current analysis that we did. Now let's take a step ahead. Let's look in the future. Let's see what's there in the pipeline 5 to 10 years down the line. And what we see is most prominently coming up is green energy. In fact, Ontario government is pushing for green energy to a great extent. In fact, in May 2009, they just passed the Green Energy Act. Basically, the objective is to ensure that consumers get a supply of green, renewable energy. You're trying to protect the environment, trying to reduce the climatic changes, effect of the so-called dirty energy. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to do a survey to find out the acceptability of consumers of green energy in Ontario. But then given the time and the geographic constraint, what we did was we found 2 surveys. One of which was done by the Ontario Power Generation Board, and the other which was done by the Coalition of Environmental Groups, Farmers, Labour Unions, and the Industry Associations. And if you look at the study and the result of both these surveys, it's pretty obvious that green energy is going to be accepted in a huge way by the consumers. In fact, 78 and 74% of people are willing to go for renewable energy. 87% of people actually support the Ontario Green Energy Act. So we feel green energy is the way to go ahead. Now how do we do that? So for this we compared against one of the players, Bullfrog, which is already into green energy. Now Bullfrog provides only 100% green energy. Okay, it provides it in Ontario, but then its pricing is such that it provides 9.1 cents per kilowatt hour, which is nearly $4 greater than the default regulated price. Now why is this? Because Bullfrog doesn't generate electricity. It has to pay a premium to the generators, which is nearly 11 cents per kilowatt hour. What we are suggesting is, what we feel is that direct energy, if it uses the green energy, moves in green energy as well, includes that in its product portfolio, it can gain a competitive advantage. Let's see how. First, there's product differentiation. Yeah, you get green energy, you're going to have product differentiation, given that consumers want that in the future. Cost advantage. If you set up your own green plants, you are at an advantage compared to other competitors like Bullfrog who don't have their own supplier, because they have to pay a premium. You will need to pay a premium. So you create a better value for customers as compared to the competitors, because the price is less, you're giving a good product. Market economics, as I already mentioned, the consumers, the government, the local authorities are all pushing towards green energy. So what we feel is that it is a profitable venture. So taking these two accounts, taking the current analysis and the future analysis into consideration, we strongly feel that the current strategy of direct energy, of treating retailing as a separate entity from generation, is not sustainable. You have to start focusing on generation in order to support your retailing segment. Now, having said that, you have to move into generation. How do you go about doing that? So in order to explain how do we go into the generation segment, I'd like to hand it over to Utsav.
Now, after an insight into the retail business and the generation and retailing synergy that we are talking about, to solve the current problem of offsetting the mark-to-market losses that the retailer faces, which plant would cover the MTM losses? Now, there are various kinds of plants. We are having here peak load plants, which are basically gas peaking turbines, and plants which operate for very short duration of time in a day. There are intermediate load plants, which again operate from mid-morning to say early evening, and the base load plants, which are like nuclear and coal plants and hydro plants, which operate throughout the day. Now the point is, for a retailer like Direct Energy, if the amount of energy that it has hedged is more, then peaking load plants and intermediate plants, it is not certain for how much duration they will operate. So the revenue that they will generate is not, it is subject to debate, and it may not be able to cover the MTM losses as such. But base load plants, which operate for 24 hours a day throughout the year, will generate constant revenue for the company, and then they can use this plant to basically cover their MTM losses. The chart that you can see above is the Ontario demand of yesterday, August 6th at 7 p.m., the forecasting that they have done. And you can also see the peak demand and the current demand and the price, which keeps on fluctuating. So we suggest that Direct Energy goes and acquires company who have base load plants and use that synergy to solve their retail MTM losses problem. Now, what is the future in generation? We did addition matrix analysis with keeping in mind all the future points and the new generation that are coming into the picture. The best possible option for Direct Energy is to go for renewable sources of energy. This incidentally matches with the recommendation also and basically the survey research that was conducted by Ontario Power Authority. So when we say renewable energy, the problem is people say it is not feasible, your rate of return is not going to be that much. So we got hold of a report from University of Waterloo. It made some assumptions. This report is basically for finding out the feasibility of a wind power plant in Ontario. So the assumptions are pretty, I think it pretty well matches with the conditions, environmental conditions here. So the initial capital cost that will be going into this plant would be $19.8 million. The salvage value was assumed to be 5%, so it comes out to around 0.99 or $1 million. The discounted cash flow technique told that the payback period is 11 years. So they calculate the WACC, which is about 9.75%, and they finally found the DCF, the payback period, and the NPV is $6.36 million. So it's a profitable venture in a long term, because the tenure is 20 years. You will earn money in a longer term. The future also talks about distributed generation. This is a new thread because Ontario Power Authority on their website have mentioned that in generation, 80% of the current installed capacity of Ontario is due for replacement in next 20 years. Now you can't make nuclear plants in